I better clean my lenses, I suppose. Not enough coconut oil. It's just bound to go south a little bit. Here's what we're fueled by today. I don't know if y'all know about Topo Chico, but the reason I love Topo Chico, what up, Cassie? Is those big fat bubbles in there, man. I just fucking dig them. And then this is, of course, what up? How's Chirac doing today? They didn't murder everybody over there, did they? I hope y'all are well. It's Big Hank right there. He's coming to hold down the fort. And we're just over here taking care of moms. And hey, Minnesota. Yeah, that was crazy. Crazy knockout with Ryan last night. York. Yeah, that was it was nuts, man. Really, oof, I kind of hate to see that. Like, I mean, it was great, and I think what I think was the best about all those fights was the sportsmanship. Johnson is just such a consummate gentleman, and Bren Rothwell, like the way those guys behaved afterwards was just fucking beautiful, man. They were really fantastic. So that was really, really great. Papa Bear, it's a friend of mine, has a company. You can find them at Dad Swagger _. I think it's at Dad Swagger and then _. Yeah, Anthony Humble Johnson, man, for sure. What a guy, man. What a gentleman. Anyway, he's a new parent, and so he's got an apparel line out that is honoring his little daughter, Rue. Yeah, man, it's amazing. I started off this as like a manners type of cast, because I started answering emails this morning, and I need a little time to wake up, and fuck. So anyway, in those emails, it's like usually somebody is asking me for something. Like people need whatever it is, time, energy, fucking whatever. And a lot of times I get these things, man, and they're guys that have dope projects going on. They're like, hey, the weirdest thing is like, get me on Rogan's podcast, get me on Ellis's show or something. And I've never once done anything like that in my life. I gone, it would be cool to be on Loveline, like when that came up or whatever. But like, anyway, I think, and then I start thinking nobody's bad. Everybody wants to do their shit. Everybody wants their shit to be great, and I think that's great. But I'm not a publicist for anybody but me. But I'm also a publicist for all my friends, and I also think like part of that being a friend for me is like I try to make everybody do as dope. Like I want everybody to shine as high as they can, and so I'm already trying to do that. And so I started thinking about positioning and being where you want to be. And the people that clamor and ask for things the most are people that are generally missing that part of their life about like, where do I put myself? And it's like, if you want to be in the mix and be a part of the mix, you got to be in the mix. You can't be in Idaho if you want to be on Baywatch. You know what I mean? It's like, you might be Idaho, but that's just a cheap joke. But positioning, man, I always think about Wayne Gretzky and the way he would talk about positioning, and he'd just be like, he put himself in a great position to score. He wasn't the fastest, he wasn't the biggest, strongest, best shot, any of that stuff, but he put himself in the great position to score all the time. He could see the future and forecast where the puck was going to be and put himself in a position to succeed. And that kind of becomes a huge component. Without that component, you start to make excuses for yourself because you become kind of a little bit of a baby and you go, oh, well, that didn't happen because. And when you start to make up the reasons about why something did or didn't happen, the truth is that everything, wherever you are in your life, whatever you're doing, wherever you're sitting, that's your fault. If you're sitting in a Lamborghini, that's your fault. You did it, man. You made all that stuff happen. If you're sitting in a trailer park somewhere, that's where you put yourself. And like, there's of course outside conditions to everything that we all do, and that shakes too much coffee. But the fact is that when we put ourselves in these positions, we have to own them. And so if I put myself in a position and I'm like, hey, I don't like the result that I'm getting, and all I can look is to blame somebody, man, that's just weak sauce. Like, I'm only not in that position because I didn't do everything that I could do to get in that position. And there's a lot of this stuff, like there's an 80-20% rule. There's all these percentage rules and all that. And I got a percentage rule too. 100% or fucking stay home. Like, that's the truth of it, man. It's 100% or stay on the couch, man. Because if you're not willing to go out and do it and drive and grind 100%, man, you're already, if it's, you're trying to put a product out, if it's you're trying to put yourself out, you're the product, say, or you're trying to get an agenda done, I need to get more money for my school board, or whatever the thing is. If you're not willing to do that, you're already disrespecting the very thing that you're trying to get promoted. You're already saying, I'm not willing to give myself all of it. And so if you don't give yourself fully to whatever it is that you're engaged in, how am I going to be engaged in that? And like the public and everything. And so I'm a real big believer in 100% or stay home, man. Because without that, what have you got left? You're going to go out and half-ass everything throughout your life. You're never going to get the real result of what you're looking for. You got to go in fully. Like when I'm fighting, that's what I'm doing, man. I'm putting everything I can. Like I know so many guys, so many fucking pussies that are out there that think that they're tough. It's so crazy. I know black belts that are complete fucking vaginas. Just the biggest pussies you'll ever fucking meet. And they're black belts because we're in a land of weakness right now. We're in a state of fucking complete and utter sadness as far as anything, as far as ownership, responsibility, people being accountable. And when we're in that position, people are like, ooh, and then you got other people that want to promote black belts because they've got their own agenda or what, like there's all of that. My point is that if we're not willing to own exactly where we are and do all the work to get there, then what is it? And like I was saying before my little black belt tirade, the deal is that like when I'm fighting, I got a job that would speak to my training. I got a job that would allow me to go and train during the hours where anybody else trained, because nobody's going to train on my time. They train when the classes are. And so that's what you do, like you go and you make yourself available at the times, you put yourself in the position so you can win, or else you don't cry about fucking losing. Like that's the deal, man. If you didn't win, you fucked up. And if you can't look at where you fucked up, then you're probably never going to learn how to win. Your brain is broken in a way. You have some kind of cognitive dissonance against learning whatever the thing is to put you into a place of success. And that's why your ego's got to get crushed enough so that you can learn something. And if I'm always putting myself in a position where I have excuses, where I have scapegoats, where I have other reasons about why something didn't happen instead of me, man, these shoulders are where it falls on, man. You got to learn to carry the weight. And you got to learn to carry the weight of your mistakes and all of that. Like you just must. Otherwise, there's no success involved. And that's where I want to put myself. I want to put myself with those people and that hold me to the iron in that way. Because my position in that, well, a guy brings up a point here, about trophies, about participation trophies. I think everybody can win, but everybody's got to do their work. And the bad thing about like if we all have a race and everybody wins the race, is that the little boy that really wins or girl doesn't learn that they're great at something. And if somebody sucks at something, they don't learn where they can get better. So you're kind of teaching people to not learn and grow. And you're, instead of imbuing them with reality and with what is actual, you're placating their feelings, which are transient feelings. We have to have bad feelings, ugly feelings, hurt feelings. We have to have that stuff. Otherwise, we don't grow and progress. So you're trying to mute people's ability to grow and learn. And so you're really robbing somebody of their own humanity when you do that. The other thing is if you suck at running, you never learn that you're great at throwing a right hand, or you never learn that you're great at the violin, or whatever the thing you're great at. And it fucking robs people of their greatness in other ways. And so everybody learns to not try. Hence the term, I need you to try. Because that's the only place where we can have really a functional, constructive kind of society. Otherwise, it's kind of like we're just a part of a mudslide of rhetoric and social niceties that are just sliding down into the ocean that's already poisoned, and that becomes the end of it. And that's not somewhere I'm willing to live. So, God bless, and that's just too long for Snapchat.